Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. We again apologize for the volume, but we hope you are able to hear well enough to be able to answer the questions. Jennifer and I are going to facilitate the poll questions and answers. And as always, we want you to interact. Let's test your ability to, we don't want to start with this one, but you can go ahead and read it. But let's test your ability to respond. So if you could send me a hello on the using the raise your hand feature at the end at the bottom of your screen, we can see if you're able to respond. And don't be shy. We want as many people to respond as possible. So can you just wave to me? Yeah, thumbs up is fine too. Thank you, Gerald and Christo, Mitchell, Virginia. Good morning. Okay, so we see that it's working. Very good. Jennifer is going to read the questions. Then we're going to have the responses and a little bit of information afterwards. Or you can ask questions specifically. If you'd like to ask questions, as Eric has indicated, please either raise your hand and turn on, unmute yourself, or you can do so in the chat. We all will be monitoring the chat and can answer out loud. So with that, Jennifer, you want to go ahead and get started on poll question 1?
Thank you, Denise. All right, poll question number 1. Aria, a 19-year-old WIA youth participant, was enrolled in a GED preparation program funded by WIOA. She earned her GED 3 months after exiting the program and started employment immediately. Does this count toward the credential attainment indicator? Answer A, B, C, or D.
Please use the chat, or well, you have to use the chat to indicate your answer. And these questions directly test your ability to hear and understand what we're talking about. And this is an opportunity for you to also give us feedback on whether or not you feel like the information is accurate according to what you're learning, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, or what you've being advised to. So I'm getting a few thumbs down. I think that was from the previous chat. So but you need to use an A, B, C, or D to tell us whether or not you think Aria's participation will provide her with a good credential attainment. So far, the majority of the answers are B. So if you answered B, you are, drum roll, Eric. Next slide. Ha ha! Go ahead, Jennifer.
Correct. The answer is B, because youth participants enrolled in secondary education counts if it counts after exit if they are if they are employed or enrolled in post-secondary education within 1 year of program exit.
So, go ahead and do the explanation. I'm sorry, Jennifer.
That was the explanation.
Oh. So what Jennifer, in a nutshell, is saying that as long as the individual exits the program within 1 year, any credentials that they earn does count towards your credential attainment indicators. And we all know how important those are. And the reason that we're having a credential attainment training is because that is what you all requested. And when we're looking at our overall performance measurements consistently throughout the state, we are struggling to meet that. And so we want to give you tips and tools on how to increase your credential attainment success rate. Okay, here we go. You got it? Poll question number 2.
Stanley exited the WIA dislocated worker program without earning a credential. 6 months later, he self-enrolled in a college program not funded by WIA and finished his associate degree in 1 semester. Does this count as an attained credential? A, B, C, or D?
Okay, so it looks like the majority are saying A, and it's very much closely, no, it's predominantly A. Let's see how you A-listers.
A is correct, yes, because he earned a recognized credential within a year. Credential attainment is counted regardless of the funding source, as long as the credential is earned within 1 year of exit.
So that was very much related to the previous question. It doesn't matter who funds the actual training, whether it's WIO funds, Pell, whoever. As long as they're on your rolls and it's within a year, we do get credit for it. Now, we all know, though, that the issue is tracking and keeping up with those individuals to allow them to submit the verification so that you do get credit for it. But that goes into follow-up and just tips and tools on how to get that information from those individuals who exit the program. Okay, good job. Great job. I think we had the majority. Whole question 3.
Which of the following is considered a recognized post-secondary credential under WIA? A, B, C, or D?
Here we go. Do. This one's a little bit, this is a hint, a little bit easier.
I didn't want to make it too hard for you all. I know you're working very hard.
Yeah, give them a break.
Yes.
Okay, so according to Jennifer's information in the previous slide, the majority of you are saying A or D. Jennifer, help us out with the answer.
Next slide, Eric. So the answer is D, occupational license. And because occupational license is a recognized post-secondary, so we got to look at the difference. Some of you all said A, but a high school diploma is a secondary credential. And we already know that certificate attendance and other certificates through other community organizations are not industry recognized credentials. So occupational license is a recognized post-secondary credential, such as associate degrees and bachelor degrees and industry recognized credentials, but not certificate of attendance.
That is correct. And those of you who said A are on the right track. They'd probably most likely count as a measurable skill gain, but the post-secondary credential is D, the occupational licensures. Great job. Okay, next question.
True or false? Credentials can only be earned through traditional classroom education. All right.
To get people writing out false. F is fine as well, but thank you for being so
I think this
comprehensive.
was too easy.
Yeah, it was, but we're not trying to, Miosha is laughing. We're not trying to be hard to make it
Yes.
impossible.
So the answer is false because credentials can be earned through a variety of educational formats. You got online courses, vocational training, apprenticeships, certification programs, and on-the-job training. Many institutions and organizations offer accredited online programs and alternative learning pathways that lead to recognized credentials. So false is correct.
And remember that within the actual training, Jennifer had provided a couple of websites where you can go in and actually check to see whether or not a credential is appropriate for whatever the individual is trying to receive training in. It doesn't have to be only online. And here are some additional here's some additional information and other types of training that can be used. Great job. That was kind of easy though, but here's a more difficult question.
All right. Victoria has 2 children and wants to become a veterinary assistant. The starting salary will not allow her to meet a living wage standard for her family. Should WIA funds be used to support this training? Answer A, B, C, or D.
Remember what we learned about objective assessments a few trainings ago? And the high demand career list as well. Jennifer taught you about stackable credentials. So you have to choose between all of them, and it looks like no one was fooled. Okay.
Next slide, Eric. And the answer is D, yes, all of the above.
So the reason that I tried to throw you off is because when you are sitting down with an individual and making a determination about how your limited funds, and I repeat that phrase, limited funds are going to be used to support an individual's training, sometimes very expensive training, including supportive services and everything that goes in, we need to look at the big picture before you make that decision. Does the objective assessment really support what the training is required? Many times participants come in and say, I've already signed up, I just need you to pay. And we say, oh, good, less work. Let me go ahead and process this information. But in reality, if the person is signed up to go to something, some training that does not support their objective assessment, they go because they heard you can start out making $80,000 a year, their friend is there and they can get a ride. For whatever reason people choose, then we need to back up and make sure that this is a good investment. And that's what we're basically doing, is investing in their education. We also need to take into consideration the high demand career list. So not only are they capable of doing the long-term job, long-term training, which leads to the hopeful career, but what they're trying to get a job in, is it an actual demand in your area? If you have an individual who's an actor and lives in, say, Milledgeville, well, acting is on the high demand career list in Atlanta because of Tyler Perry Studios and the filming and all that. But in Milledgeville, it's not. And so, yes, it's capable that they say that they're going to relocate, or maybe they will, maybe they won't, but that needs to be taken into consideration. Is there microbiology needs in Milledgeville? Is there acting needs in Milledgeville? So look at your high demand career list to ensure that what they're going into will actually lead to a career. We all know people that have graduated with history degrees and English degrees and had to be a teacher and didn't want to be a teacher. So what do you do with that degree? Excuse me, or that training? And then also remember that even if the individual has 2 kids at home and am I leading into the last question? Is that the last question? I'm sorry. Oh, no. I was like, go back. Thank you. We changed one of the questions. Can you go back? Even if the individual begins, let's say, as a nursing assistant, and a nursing assistant salary starts at $12 an hour, and they have 2 children, we know that they are not going to be within a livable wage. But that's when you look at what else can they do. And if they say, I absolutely do not, I just want to be a nursing assistant for forever, or they don't feel like they have the ability or even the academic prowess to stack credentials, then we may need to have a discussion and say, well, even if you get this nursing assistant's position, you finish this training and get this position, it will not allow you to earn enough. We need to either look at another area of training that through the objective assessment results, or consider looking at a position, a training, a career that will allow that individual to make more money. And of course, we can't look into the future and determine, because a lot of times you don't end up where you start, but we need to provide as much accuracy and as much insight as we can to ensure that our investment into their training will lead to credentials that will not only give you the ability to improve your credential attainment ratings, but also ensure that they have the best shot ever at a career. Okay, so how did you do on the test? I'm sure that some of you got 100%, some of you probably got an 89, we'll say 89. But the goal is to ensure that you understand ways to improve your credential attainment. Are there any questions at all? None. Jennifer did a great job of presenting the information. I'm going to tease her and tell her she's great at doing in-person presentations, and she will say that for 100 times, and you all will see her during the youth roundtables. She'll be out soon. But she did a great job of presenting the information, and we hope that you got what you need in order to start that pathway of increasing. We got Kim Yana, good morning. It says, can you post the DOL address you checked for checking the credentials? It is actually in the actual presentation, but Eric, would you be able to, or Jennifer, could you actually place the website address in the chat if you can? And if not, Eric will be sending out the entire presentation recording in the next few days. Thank you, Kenyana. Any
we also
other?
have a raise hand.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Can you read it?
Maddox.
Are you brave enough to unmute? I didn't see I see it. Is the certificate of attendance the same as the certificate of completion? No. Well, it is the same. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Yes, it is the same. Some call it certificate of attendance and some call certificate of completion.
Right, but those are not they cannot earn a credential. They just say that the person was there and completed. That's all it does. And they can take it home and put it in a frame, but an employer does not recognize those as credentials.
Another raise hand, Phyllis Walker.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it on my end. Can you read it? Or Ms. Walker, do you want to unmute and ask? Eric, can you see the question?
There's no question.
Oh.
They have their hand raised.
Okay. Ms. Walker, can you unmute? I know it takes a while to find the mute button, and then you fumble around and turn on your camera instead of the mute.
Hi, so there are probably multiple Miss Walkers, but for Simone Walker, my hand is not raised. So I just wanted to let you guys know.
Okay, good morning, though. Thank you for attending.
Good morning. Thank you for presenting.
It's a question in the chat.
Okay, well, let me just make sure I don't know if it's either Mr. or Mrs. Walker. I can't see it on my end. Did you want to ask your question or did you have a comment? Okay, well, let me go to the questions. And if you do, just break in and we'll answer it. Like the CNA with the certificate from the class does not equal a credential, but the certification from the state is the credential, correct? Right.
So the answer for that, yes, the certificate of completion does not count as the credential, but when they take the state board and get the license, yes, that does count as the credential. You can use the certificate of completion as measurable skills gain to show that they on the right path to getting the CNA license.
Does that answer your questions, Ms. Livingston and Ms. Kelly? No. Yes, okay. Ms. Jones, hey, Ada. Oh, it's moving. Can somebody see that question from Ada? It moved up too far for me.
Ada or the one before Ada?
Oh, let's see. No, I think you answered Ms. Kelly's. Oh, Ms. Kelly, did we answer your question? Can a certificate of completion be used for measurable skills gain? And it's okay that it's not a part of this training. Certificate of completion, yes. Is that correct?
If it's on the path of them completing the licensure, yes.
Yes. It shows that they've made measurable gains in their skill, basically, is in the title. Okay, Ada, what if the training on the ETPL does not have a state exam or credential? Wow, that's a great question. We are working, did you want to start, Jennifer?
I wanted to see if she has a example.
Ada, you want to unmute and ask, or you just want us to take a stab at it? Okay, well, let's take a stab at it. What if the training on the ETPL does not have a state exam or credential? We actually have an ETPL specialist. Her name is Alexander Brown, and she is the individual who is in the process as we speak of working with you all, the local areas, and trainings to track and hopefully require that there be a credential attainment. Now, of course, everyone does not indicate that now, but it just depends on what the training is. If they don't have a state exam or credential, then you need to use the resource that is in the actual training that Jennifer provided to check to see if it is a necessary credential.
I think I found the mute button.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think it's like things like medical assistance, those types of things. There are a few of the training programs that actually don't have a state test, like pharmacy tech. They it's just completion of the actual the actual training itself is the credential, for lack of a better document at that point. So we don't know. And I think if I'm reading the policy, at one point it said something about if it's going to yield employment, and employers will take someone in an entry level position with that type of completion document as far as completing the course. It can be used as a credential, and I put that in quotes. It can be used as a quote credential, being that there is no state exam, but it can allow you to find employment in an entry level position.
Okay. I don't want to give you incorrect information because
Okay.
each industry has different standards and credentials. But like I said, you can use the tool and you can load all that information in. And if it still doesn't give you the information that you need, you can reach out to your liaison and we will absolutely help to ensure that you get the correct information. But I can't say yes or no to a specific credential in every industry because, of course, there's so many variables but we want to help. So reach out to us individually or at WIOA programs.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's good to hear from you.
Same here.
Eric says, Ms. Robinson's question is a student who completes a TCC, has an MSG, and the credential comes from passing the licensure exam. That's a question. Ms. Robinson, can you give me a little bit more information? The student who completes a TCC. Do you get it, Jennifer?
Like practical nursing certificate. It's a TCC now. So when they finish the program at the college, that is the MSG, right? And then their license is their credential. Their TCC is not their credential.
If they getting it through a technical college, TCC is the certification.
Mm-hmm.
So through the technical college, yes, that should be fine. And also them passing the licensure exam will count as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Miss Livingston, with the participant completing post-secondary training that was not supported by WIOA, they would need to have a code for partner-funded training to be able to use it as a credential, wouldn't they? With the participant completing post-secondary training that was not supported. Are you?
That particular, in that particular scenario, the participant has, they had exited the program, but it was within that 1 year. So them providing that credential within that 1 year, would count.
I think she's asking for a code, the code for partner-funded training. Is that what you're asking us what the code is? Or are you just saying, Ms. Livingston?
When you enter the credential, it asks for a code to link it to.
Uh-huh.
So when you do
Special
that,
activities.
yeah, so with the activities, would you just do the partner funded, or is there a way to do it where you don't have to link it to a code?
Good question.
That is a good question. We're going to have to check that with Nicole, our WorkSource portal guru. So can you mark that down, Jennifer? And we'll get back to you and ensure that you all have the answer to that question.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Good question. I think we answered Ada's. Ms. Kelly, what if it's just an in-house training? Can that be used for measurable skills gain? I guess we should have included measurable skills gain in the information. An in-house training that occurs within your local area, that's what you're talking about, in-house training? Because for measurable skills gains, there's very distinct definitions for measurable skills gains as well. So maybe that's what we need to do next, is do measurable skills gains. But MSGs we can't just say certificate of completions or make up a training that says, resume writing. There's very distinct qualifications for measurable skills gains as well. So for a specific one, if you have questions about it, then reach out to your liaison, Jaleesa, Montevi, or Rosanna, or you can look at, we have a measurable skills gains training as well that we can go back to, but I'm not sure what the in-house training is. If you want to unmute and talk about it a little bit more, then.
Yes, like at an employer. This is Beth Kelly. At an employer, say they do. Good morning. Thanks for the training. It was very good, by the way. But I'm just trying to get the differences in measurable skills gains and credentials in my head. So if we got somebody in an employer who gets a certificate for lift truck driving, that would be a measurable skills gain because it wouldn't necessarily be accepted with other employers. So it wouldn't be a credential, but you could count that as a measurable skills gain. Is that right?
I have to refresh myself on measurable skills gains, but the difference is measurable skills gains are exactly what it says, and not to be facetious, but you're seeing that the person is making progress, that they graduated to the next grade, that they graduated from high school, that they finished a particular part of a training that shows that they are making skills gains. And so measurable skills gains and credential attainment are two different things. Credential attainment is actually, I got the degree, or I have they're called different things, training certificate in that I can present to an employer on a resume and say, yes, I have this skill. And so going back to your question about forklift driving,
yes,
a forklift operator would be a measurable skills gain.
Mm-hmm.
But if that is the job that they're trying to obtain, then it seems like it would be Credential. Jennifer, does anybody else have any comments or questions? Can you unmute? That's my understanding. What about you, Jennifer? What do you think? Or anyone else?
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it could be both then. It could be a measurable skills gain and a credential, depending on if they need that credential, like they are going to come in and they want to put them in this lift truck driving thing. They don't have the skills, but they're going to hire them and they're going to train them. And then once they get trained, they go into that job. So it could be a measurable skills gain and a credential at the same time. Woo.
I want to
Not
say
sure
yes.
about that one.
I'm sorry.
No. That's why we have the question and answers, because sometimes it can be tricky and we want to make sure that you get the right information. So Jennifer, can you write that one down as well? And we'll get that information back to you at a later
Okay,
time.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, let's see. That was Kelly. Miss Maddox, I have an example if it's painting and drywall training. So what is
That's from the previous question she had.
oh, okay. Did we answer your question, Miss Maddox? Okay, well, we'll wait for her to answer.
Muted.
Ah.
Yes, you answered my question, and I'll look for more information, but I think I understand where you're coming from. So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome.
We have 2 raised hands and a question in the chat. Do you want to go to the people that have their hands raised? Miss Miyoshi Primo and Candice.
Miss Primo, how are you this morning? And we'll get to you,
Good
Candice.
morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for this presentation. So I'm going to push the envelope.
Oh boy.
So when it comes to verification, for example, when we go into the system, there's things such as a drop-down menu that says case notes. So are there other valid ways to show for, and I'm gonna throw in MSGs and credentials? Say, for example, it's a high school diploma. We call the high school. We get a letter from the high school because they can't release certain information that this youth has indeed graduated. Does that suffice? Because we're struggling on this side. I'm trying to find a way.
Does the letter from the school suffice?
Yes, like a valid letter from that school rather than, a person just saying, hey, I graduated and we never received the actual credential. So, and I want to use high school diplomas because I know, we can call the school system and they'll verify it, but does that count and how does that work?
Right, and that was part of the last TIGO that was updated, that where we actually reached out to you all, and remember we went through and changed, was going to
Yes, ma'am.
update the selections. Don't call me on it because my memory is foggy, but I'm almost positive, and one of the program specialists can jump in if you remember, but I'm almost positive that any official verification, it can't be on a piece of notebook paper, of course, and I'm exaggerating, but any official notification from the school showing that the individual graduated is fine, because I know that sometimes it happens during the summer and no one's in the office, or like you said, they can't release information because whatever the reason, but as long as you can get some official verification, it should be fine. And you can use notes. Make sure that you document. When we aren't sure, when we're monitoring, you would be surprised at how often we go to notes for clarification. And if it's actively documented, then we can figure out, oh, that's what they're doing, or that's what happened, or that's what was said. Because our goal isn't to ding you. Our goal is just to understand what you're saying. So as long as you have a halfway decent, well, not even halfway, but it needs to be a decent verification.
I'm like, my
with
team is on the line, Denise. Don't tell them that.
Okay, trying to be nice. But as long as you have good documentation and good case notes, then typically we may reach out and say, you're kind of pushing it here, or can you provide additional information? But our goal, like I said, is to work with you to keep it moving. And if you have questions, just reach out to your liaison.
Oh, I harass her enough. Thank you.
Because we absolutely want to work with you, but you have to, it has to be substantial.
Yes,
Did
thank
that
you
answer
so
your
much.
question?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
It was good hearing from you.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Help me out. Where are we?
Candice, and then we can go to the questions in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Candace Coppin with ARC. How's everyone doing?
Good
Um,
morning.
hi. I was hoping that I could just clarify maybe something when it came to the measurable skills thing versus credentials. I think for some people listening in, they heard some potential measurable skills gains that were linked to credentials. And then it was like, oh, we have all these things that could be measurable skills gains. But something to keep in mind is measurable skills gain is linked to that credit to specific activity codes that you put in the system. So if you have an occupational skills training that you have set up, and there is a credential that's attained during that training, that would be a measurable skills gain, not a training or not a credential that you just obtain randomly, but something that is actually within the
Thank
program
you.
scope of that
Very
activity.
nice.
Same with GED. Same with if you're in school situation, it would be within that school if you finish the semester. Within that GED, if you complete a subject. So that would be the measurable skills portion of it. It's same with a apprenticeship. If you're in an apprenticeship and there's some midterm processy or some credential in the middle or some type of milestone that they have scheduled into the apprenticeship, you would use one of those as a measurable skills gain. So I just want to hope that clarified for those in the audience.
Thank you, Candace. I'm going to come give you a hug for sharing with us. Anyone have any other questions or statements regarding Candace's comments? Okay. Thank you. All right, Eric, where are we?
We are with Miss Kimiana. She has a question in the chat. Says, do you say that if it's training from a TCSG provided, the certificate of completion counts as the credential?
Did you say if it's a training with, so if you get a training on the ETPL list, because those are the trainings that we recognize, the certificate of completion counts as the credential. No, a certificate of completion doesn't necessarily count, as a credential. A credential is, all of the TCSG providers don't provide attaining the credentials that we're looking for. We're working to make that happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So just because they're on the ETPL list doesn't mean that they're automatically going to earn your credential. And that's one of the things that you need to be checking, because remember, the local areas are the ones that attract, except for apprenticeships, there's some exceptions, but for the most part, the local areas are the ones that attract the ETPL providers. We just finalize, and what I said before is we finalize and have we update the DPL and ensure that they are licensed and insured and not credentialed, but that they have the staff that they need. But you all are the ones who basically approve ETPL providers. Some of them have real credentials and some of them don't. And so, no, the answer is certificate of completion counts as a credential, not necessarily, no.
Deneen.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, sweetie, it's Juwan Dennis over at WorkSource DeKalb. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to tag on that. Again, like you said, it's up to us as the career advisors to do our due diligence. Like you said, even though they're on the ETPL and the program is there, when you go take the customer through the suitability process, they should be researching that field that they're going in and seeing
Absolutely.
what the requirements are for that employer. When you talk about the certificate of completion, there are a few that have certs that can possibly be considered as a credential. But just like we're posing the question to you ladies and gents now, you can always go on the website for that particular said credential, as you might think it would be, or look at the employer statistical information and see what, if in fact it is a legitimate credential. Like you said, you're following our lead and researching us, and we're researching it. But if everybody's on the same page and saying, let me see. And the reason why I say that, because we had, I've over the years, I've seen certs come in and they're put in as credentials, and we've got to check with the schools, because but the schools can say, yeah, it's a credential. Okay, all right, you're the testing facility, that's great, but it doesn't have a serial number on it, a license number on it, and is this recognized by the industry that this individual is going into? And if the industry doesn't require it and don't consider it a cert, then that's another way to vet that out.
Thank you, Jawan. And I would reemphasize, please use the credential tracker on the as a resource, because I can't tell you every credential for it's impossible for me to tell you on this training what credential is or isn't recognized, because it depends on the industry and what the individual career is. So we'll send that out. Can Eric or Jennifer or someone, if you could pull that website and put it in the chat, and then of course it'll be in the training when we send it out. But I would implore you to use that if you're not sure, because if the individual goes through the entire training program and you think they're going to earn a credential and it's not, then it's a loss to both you and, well, I don't want to say a loss, but it is it won't count towards your credential attainment measures.
Absolutely.
And thank you for bringing up that suitability as well, because sometimes we forget that. That's huge. Okay, where are we, Eric?
We have one more question and then one comment.
Okay.
By Courtney Maddox. She says, if they go to training for heavy operator training and receive forklift cherry picker certificate, MSG or credential? Question mark.
Again, it depends on their career. Like, what is their ultimate career goal? I'm not familiar with cherry picker, forklift, any of those careers. And so you'd have to go on use the tool again to ensure. What was the comment?
Then just one comment pertaining to an earlier question saying I've used a telephone verification, but they should be able to release information with a consent to share information.
I'm sorry, can you say it again? You broke up.
One comment said, and this is from an earlier question, it just said, I've used a telephone verification, but they should be able to release information with a consent to share information.
I think that was back to the high school diploma question.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And
Okay. Thank you.
those are all the questions.
Any other question? Last. Oh, thank you for posting that, the credential attainment. So you can use that to determine whether the cherry picker forklift is a credential if you fill in those blanks. I don't want to tell you incorrectly, and I'm not avoiding the question. I just want to make sure that you have the correct info. Thank you for those of you who asked the questions. Thank you for those of you who answered the questions and provided more insight. And thank you specifically to Jennifer for presenting. And I also want to do the behind the scenes for Eric, who has stepped in for, I don't know if you all remember Andrea, but thank you to Eric for stepping in and helping us do the behind the scenes piece of putting this training on and facilitating. So with that said, Eric, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Can I make a quick announcement before we end?
Absolutely.
Just want to reach out to all the youth providers and program managers. I have sent out an email asking for training input as we prepare for the youth roundtable. So if you can get with your directors and or youth point of contacts, program managers to provide me that information. I want to make sure that the training is very beneficial to what you do. And so look forward to that in the upcoming month in the fall for the youth roundtable.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Danine. As always, we love your feedback for this training as we are always looking to improve. Again, we do apologize about the audio. We will be sending the recording within 1 week, accompanied by the PowerPoint presentation, so the audio should be a lot better. You'll also be emailed a link in 15 minutes for the survey, so be on the lookout for that. And with that, thank you all for attending today's training, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. And if you have any questions, feel free to email Jennifer or the programs team. Thank you all.